Well, this is a video I really don't want to make, but I guess I just pushed to it, you know. Alright, so anyway, I was reading the comments on Dario's What the Fuck, you know, because basically in that video he said, oh, I don't think Michael Jackson did anything weird with kids. You know, and so I called him on it and I posted a comment basically saying, so if I tell you I know a guy who doesn't really bang women or men, but does grab his crotch a lot and likes to hang around with little kids, you would let that guy babysit your kids? And I posted that question to him. I threw in, besides all the circumstantial evidence, blah, 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 he's a pedophile. And Dario basically conceded, yeah, well, if you put it that way, no, I wouldn't let him babysit my kids, and I'm just going based on some gut reaction, because he just seems naive and harmless. And, you know, whatever, okay, fine, at least he's conceding that. But I don't get how you could, well, I don't know, like I said, I don't even know how you could see him as anything else but a manipulator. But whatever, moving on. So then this playgirl person, read what Wikipedia says about him. Yeah, that's a great source. All right, and she's, you know, he's got, you know, whatever, Peter Pan disorder or something, never grew up because of his horrible childhood, and like somehow that's an excuse for something. And it doesn't change the basic facts. But anyway, so Zom gets, she's got a, well, whatever. All right, she says, pedophilia doesn't always equal child molester. Yeah, of course it doesn't. All it means is somebody is attracted sexually to children. The big majority of children who are sexually abused are not abused by pedophiles. Well, I think that's just crazy. If you're talking about punching and hitting, yeah, it's not pedophiles. If you're talking about goddamn sex, well, it's a goddamn pedophile. Sorry. You know. But by men who have wives who are considered straight. You know what? There was a lot of guys in the past who were homosexual and they had what's called a beard, you know, a wife and a family, but they were homosexual. So that's just a bullshit argument, okay? Yes, certainly men can have sex with a lot of different shit. There's men who will fuck goddamn sheep if they have to. Alright, so it's just a bullshit argument, okay? At the core, these guys have an attraction, and they're just trying to escape it, but it exists. Those men are not pedophiles in the sense that they are primarily attracted to children. Well, I'm just telling you that, yeah, I think they are primarily attracted to children, but they know they can't have them. So they have to work something else out. They got to marry the sheep. They are just sadistic fucks. Yeah, well, whatever. Like I said, there are sadistic fucks who beat up women and beat up kids and beat up anything that's around them. And then there's pedophiles who love things, but are also sadistic fucks and will fuck them and kill them even. So I mean, people have all kinds of different disorders, but it doesn't mean they're not a pedophile. If you're sexually attracted to children, you're a fucking pedophile. It doesn't mean you're evil. Alright, so if you don't act on it, it just means that you fit the description pedophile. But they get off hurting the vulnerable. Most pedophiles don't end up actually hurting kids. Well, it depends on if they try to act out on their sexual desire. So yeah, they don't want to hurt kids. They want to have sex with them. Alright, but indirectly that hurts them because you're fucking with their maturation. You're gonna turn them into a pervert, and that's what goddamn happens, and it's proven fucking goddamn fact. You know, you can turn a kid into a, you can, you know, it's a cycle of abuse. I mean, it's, you abuse a kid, he'll, you know, there's a high probability he'll grow up to have the same affliction, you know, if you do it at a young enough age. And that's the real horror of it. So whatever. I mean, all this excuse making for goddamn Michael Jackson is just goddamn pukable. I just don't, you people, it just, so anyway, and then it goes on to this whole fucking thing about his skin disease. What a crock of shit. So it just happens to be a coincidence that a guy who's basically cut his fucking nose off and changed his face into goddamn, you know, an alien face, he just happens to also have a very extremely preposterously rare skin disease. The same one afflicting Oprah apparently too. And that's the reasonable explanation, okay, in a world where it's very easy to have your skin lightened. But no, that's not the reasonable explanation. No, the reasonable explanation is to say, no, he has the preposterous disease, even though he's a guy overtly running from his natural appearance. And this is, you call this logic? This is logical fucking thinking? I mean, I'm disgusted. These are fucking intelligent people talking this crap. Alright, and so the one that really pissed me off is the Highlander guy, who I really like, but this is just such complete asshole bullshit. I mean, the stupidest man on earth could say something as dumb as this. Well, maybe you want to believe he did it. I thought it was innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. Oh, so there's no such thing as a bullshit trial. And so a person can't watch a trial, hear all the testimony in the trial, can conclude somebody is guilty as motherfucking hell. It's only a goddamn jury engineered by lawyers to be the stupidest people on goddamn earth. Only they decide who the fuck is guilty or innocent. I mean, what a preposterous pile of nonsense. Do you have any knowledge of how the fucking legal system works? The lawyers go in there, know what they do? They ask them some preposterous question. Know what they ask the OJ guys, jurors? Well, you ever heard of OJ Simpson? Do you ever hear about him in his personal life? Did you ever hear that? And they all answer, oh, no, I don't know who he is. And so, yeah, same thing with Michael Jackson. You know who Michael Jackson is? You ever heard of him doing anything inappropriate with children? Oh, no, I never read a newspaper. I never watched a news show. I've never heard of Michael Jackson. And so you have compulsive liars on the jury, all right? It's a guaranteed acquittal, because the only people who would have incentive to lie are the very same people who will pass a verdict that's completely opposite of justice, because they obviously have an intent. Why would you lie, okay, unless you wanted to break justice? You'd have no incentive to do it otherwise. So it's a guaranteed acquittal. In both the OJ case and the Michael Jackson case, that's exactly what fucking happened. It also happened to that other guy who killed his wife in the car. I mean, that's the liability of celebrity trials, is as soon as you start asking jurors, have you ever heard of, and they have to answer, no, I've never heard of, well, then you're guaranteed either have a complete ignoramus as a jury or a fucking liar. You know, and so anyways, let's go over some of the evidence. I mean, I'm not expert on this shit, but it's right there in front of you. Okay, we have absolutely no real relationships with any other adult human beings, right? I mean, we have the fake Presley marriage. You're not going to use that as evidence of anything, right? I mean, that was an obvious sham. And then what do we got? We got Macaulay Culkin. He hung, you know, that little kid or whatever. He hung out with him. What do you think, they were just playing video games or something together? You know, then we got millions of dollars paid off to a 11-year-old kid in Australia. So if somebody pays their way out of a trial, basically admits they're guilty and just pays the kid off, that's not proven guilty, right? Because you got away from not having a trial, so obviously you're obviously innocent. You know, it's paying $1 million isn't circumstantial evidence of guilt, right? You just pay millions of dollars to anybody who accuses you of something. So if I accuse you of having your fucking head up your ass, what are you going to do about it? You're going to pay me off? You're going to, you know, to shut up? Is that what you're going to do? Jesus Christ. And then I watched the motherfucking trial, okay, with the two fucking kids. Okay, yeah, the mother was a conniving, weaselly bitch. She basically, I mean, what other person, knowing Michael Jackson's reputation, what other person would allow their kids to go to Michael Jackson's house for sleepovers? I mean, come on. What responsible parent would do that? So obviously she was playing a game. But the two kids, you can't, you know, it's just bullshit to say you're going to throw out all their testimony and say somehow they were able to engineer and create two little lying fucktards. There's no way they could have withstand all that scrutiny based on a lie. I mean, a little 9-year-old kid, come on. One of them was, I think, 9, the other was 11 or something. A goddamn kid was a cancer patient. You're going to sit there and pretend that they lied? Oh, come on. So, fuck you people. I mean, this fucking goddamn love affair with motherfucking celebrities is just goddamn disgusting. I don't give a fuck about... Look, I admit, I wasn't enthralled with Michael Jackson. But I guess if you find somebody I do like, I'm not going to justify it when they look like a goddamn alien. They're behaving in a manner that is... You can't even call it queer. It's so fucking queer. And you're going to sit there and make an argument that this is a poor, vulnerable person that needs your understanding? No, it's a fucking lunatic. I mean, it's a celebrity. It gets to behave entirely different than everybody else living on this planet. Fuck you. No, that's enough. But man, ugh, I hate this subject. I mean, on both grounds. I mean, it's ugly on both sides. I mean, who wants to talk about pedophiles and who wants to talk about fucking Michael Jackson? Because it's all over the news and all over everywhere and blah, 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 blah. But I mean, just this, you know, this knee-jerky defense of bullshit. Absolute insane fucking bullshit. Excuse making. God, it's so fucking lame. So anyway, there's my commentary. Fucktards. Shit. I mean, it's really discouraging. I mean, people with brains can't even see the obvious. The guy is psychologically out of his, well, was out of his fucking mind. It's goddamn obvious. And you're gonna sit there and make excuses.